Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a king called Adipojo and his queen called Ronk, who were desperate to have a child. After years of trying, their prayers were finally answered, and they were blessed with a healthy baby boy. The entire village rejoiced and celebrated the birth of the royal child, but little did they know that this child was destined for a terrible fate a few days after the baby's birth. The village priest came to the palace to reveal a prophecy that sent shivers down everyone's spine. The prophecy stated that the newborn prince would sleep with his mother, marry her, and kill his father. The villagers were horrified and devastated by this prophecy. The king and the queen were terrified and did everything in their power to avert this horrible prophecy from coming to pass. They couldn't believe that their precious child would bring such destruction upon their family in an attempt to avert the prophecy. King decided that the young prince must be killed. The queen, heartbroken and sorrowful, begged her husband to spare the baby's life, but he was adamant that he believed that by getting rid of the child, he could prevent the prophecy from being fulfilled. The palace chief guard was instructed to take the baby to the evil forest and kill him. Their pet took the baby and brought it to the evil forest to carry out the king's command. On getting to his destination, one took out his cutlass, and as he was about to slaughter the baby, his eyes see the baby's beautiful face, looking innocent and unaware of what was about to befall him. He only got cold fits and couldn't bring himself to kill such a heartless soul, so he decided he would abandon the baby in the evil forest and let wild animals and beasts develop the child. But the gods had other plans for this child the next morning. As fate would have it, a kind hunter from a neighboring village found the baby while hunting in the forest and took him in, raising him as his own son. The hunter and his wife loved the baby as their own and named him Wiry. As he grew, it was evident that he was not an ordinary boy, for he possessed unparalleled strength and intelligence, which earned him a reputation among the villagers. As he grew up, he became known as a fierce warrior. His adoptive father trained him in the art of warfare, and he quickly became one of the best in the land. He also learned the ways of the forest and became an expert at hunting and tracking with his skills. W helped defend his new village against invaders and even led successful attacks on neighboring villages, but all the while W had no idea of his true identity. He never knew he was adopted and had no knowledge of the prophecies surrounding his birth. As the years went by, his adoptive father passed away, and W became the leader of the village. Under W's rule, the villagers prospered. He led his people to victory in many wars, and soon his village became one of the most powerful in the land. However, it was during one of these numerous wars that he led an attack on a kingdom called Ae. Wiry and his army waged war on this kingdom for days and finally conquered this kingdom on the seventh day, where slaughtered the king who refused to submit to his authority and married the king's beautiful wife. One then marched all the kingdoms and villages he had conquered. With his army, he named the marched kingdoms to Mid and crowned himself the king and emperor over the entire empire. Wiry, who possessed great leadership skills, ruled the kingdom with ease, and the people of Tide Kingdom started getting used to things, but as months passed, strange things began to happen in the kingdom. All the village rivers turned to blood, a plague of leprosy struck some villagers, and many other evil occurrences took place. He was puzzled and wondered day and night why all these calamities came upon his kingdom. One afternoon, the Ifa priests were summoned to the palace, and the tribe chiefs and the queen were also present. King Gary asked the priests to inquire from the gods why they were chosen to forsake the kingdom of Tamid. The priests then revealed to the king what the gods had told him, saying that my king and the gods are angry that a certain family in the Enid kingdom has committed a taboo. Wiry impatiently said what taboo was committed and which family is guilty of this crime. The priest replied by saying the taboo committed is incestuous, a son sleeping with his mother, his birth mother. This is how the gods are revealed to me. King Wairi, boiling with so much anger, swore that he would kill the whole family involved in the sacrilege, starting with the son partaking in such hysterical acts. I asked the priest again about how they could identify the family involved. The priest answered by saying, "It is you, my king. You have brought the reign of sorrow over your people." King Wairi, with so much rage, pulled out a cutlass and was about to strike the priests while shouting, "How dare you tell a lie against your king? How dare you, Pharaoh?" The priest continued by saying, "The gods cannot lie, my king. You are the man who has brought doom to the kingdom of Tam. You slept with your mother, and because of this unholy act leading to a taboo pregnancy, the gods have turned their backs on us." Wairi started sweating profusely, looking very confused as he searched his mind for answers. His new wife, the former queen of Aa, rushed to the king and checked the back of his hair. After checking his ear, she immediately let out a loud scream. "I am finished," she shouted. She fell to the ground and said, "You shouldn't be alive. How can this be happening with everyone looking confused?" Quan continued, "You are my son. We tried to deliver this prophecy. Your father and I tried. We tried." Everyone seated was confused, and one of the chiefs had to ask the queen what she meant by her words. Unknown to all, the queen was the same queen-run wife of King Ataku, who were both told the evil prophecy of how their newborn baby would kill his father, sleep with his mother, and marry her. Her Queen Ron narrated in tears every detail of the 27-year-old prophecy and how she and her then-husband tried to avert it by killing the child, who was obviously King Wami. Wairi killed his father, Ataku, who was the king of the Ae kingdom. He refused to surrender after the king's kingdom was conquered by Wairi. Wairi married and slept with his mother, whom he thought was just the beautiful wife of the deceased king, and even impregnated her. Realizing the gravity of what had happened, the queen, who was also War's other, was filled with shame and decided she was going to end her life. She couldn't bear the thought of what had happened between her and her son. It was taboo. King Wairi was filled with self-loathing. He was shocked to his bones to know about his unfortunate fate. He couldn't believe that he had caused such destruction in his own kingdom. He also remembered how he swore to kill the family that brought wars to his kingdom, starting with the son who committed the taboo. The word of a king is law, and his decrees must be carried out without fail. This means King Wami has to end his life. It is too late to turn back now from his earlier pronouncements. King Giri retired to his ODS and poisoned himself. The moral lessons from this story include the consequences of trying to evade destiny. King Adu and Queen are tried so hard to stop destiny from coming to pass and ended up helping fulfill the prophecy. Another moral lesson from this story is the importance of empathy and mercy. If War had shown Mary to King Adu's father, he wouldn't have ended up killing him and later regretting his action. This tale also highlights the theme of fate, showing that attempts to change one's destiny may lead to tragic outcomes. Additionally, we have seen the significance of pronouncements and utterances. If King Giri didn't angrily pronounce that it would kill the family that committed the taboo, he might still be alive today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and watch out for the next one.